What's up, everybody? It's the couch. I'm DJ Gonzo. One of these ways. That's Shaggy. We got Tom Wood. He's down here. Hope you guys are ready. This is going to be an amazing show. We're going straight to comments now. We'll see who pops on. We have the Living Dead girl sitting here looking like she's going to punch me already because I messed up. I was going to have this whole thing about how I should have shaved and shit, and I just totally blew it all the way through.
You should have shaved. You look old as fuck right now.
I do look old as fuck.
That's why people are going to call you Braylon's grandpa.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, is she always this brutal on you, Mike? Because, yeah, this...
Only when she's in a good mood.
Right now. She's been...
Only when she's in a good mood. Two people get tuned in and it's already fucking nonsense. But we're going to talk a lot of Brandon Tarvin. What's up, bio? People tuning in. So we got an interesting show planned in. I think anybody that watches our shows knows who Tom Wood is, specifically with a certain group. We're going to bypass how you got into everything at first because we'll go back and touch on your early years later.
Okay.
That actually kind of sounded a little inappropriate. So, okay, let's just get with it. Like, this is what threw me off. And I said it earlier, and I still feel like a dick, but I was like, Tom was not a juggalo. Look at, he's not a juggalo.
You look like you're a minister. You don't even look like you've ever smoked a joint or sat on a couch before in a garage.
Come on, I get insulted.
Yeah, couches and garages are pretty much standard fare in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what I would say. You know what he reminds me of? I have a long lost buddy though, Andrew. You and him would be like, if you ever grew the face thing, be fucking like exactly alike. It throws me off a little bit.
A minister, Living Dead girl, a minister, really?
I said a principal. She went with minister.
Yeah, like you look like a minister. Like you, I feel like you should be like teaching like children about Jesus.
Wow, I did not get that at all.
I mean, you've seen the shit that I paint, right? It's
that's what throws me off. But it's contrast. Okay, me as an artist, and I just do like graffiti, but like art graffiti. I like working in like. I only have 3 crayons, 4 markers, and I got, just like, I'm gonna make something, That's the type of artist I like to do. I used to do drugs. I'm sober 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like to do that art. I don't know why. It's just my thing. It's kind of guerrilla. I like it, Forgot totally where we were going with that point of it. Oh, it's contrast. I love contrast. And just juggalo society and you, there's contrast there. It's contrast.
Yeah, I'd buy that. Right. When Rob told me to come out to the gathering, we just worked 7 months straight on Into the Echo side. And me and him and Lewis were all pretty tight at that point because that's all we had done was Echo side. And Rob said, I want you to come out for the unveiling of this game at Gathering 17. And I was like, Rob, I mean, look at me. I don't think I'm going to fit in. I think you guys are great. I love the whole mythology of Insane Clown Posse and the storyline. It's fucking amazing. But, I mean, Living Dead Girl's right. I've never smoked pot in my life. Not one time. But, and also I have a lot of clients that it's better if I try to be able to, I could be a farm boy out here in Arkansas and I could put on a suit and I could go be this professional in a boardroom if I need to. And that's kind of how I made a living for the past, 20 years. So when I went out there, I told Rob, and like, I'm going to get stabbed if I go out there with the juggalos. He goes, no, they're going to love you. They're going to love you. Trust me. And I'm like, okay. But when I got out there, I was very nervous, but I met some of the nicest people, Heather Mars and Mankini, and all of them was just very welcoming to me, including Jay and Shaggy and Rob and all the Bill Dale, all those guys out there were very appreciative of the work that I had done for them, and very gracious. And I've made some of the best friends. Scotty D from Bagel Lovers, he was, and Juggalo News, Cupcake, Dustin Lane, all those guys have, I stay in touch with them all the time. They've always been very supportive of the work and just some great friends.
And that seems to be what it's about. We were telling you we did send out our crack kid reporters out there, right? Our investigators.
Yes.
But we'll be honest, they're really just crackheads, and I pay them a little money and they, get a little kibble and stuff, and
no, they didn't find out shit. They just have a bunch of questions, and that's what I'm going to get probably.
Yeah, well, you can just say if this happened or not, but we were told at that gathering that you officially became a juggalo when Shaggy dipped his nuts in your soup.
Yeah, no. I wish that would have happened, but honestly, I didn't really even talk. I was so kind of intimidated by Jay and Shaggy, I didn't even talk to them that first trip. I was just too scared. I was at a little all-star meet and greet, and they had lines out the ass, and I was like, these guys are busy as fuck. I'm just gonna not bother. I don't want to be, another guy that they have to deal with. So I just kept my distance.
I met them. I got on stage and danced with them.
Well, I did do Fago Armageddon that first gathering. They did have me up there for that, and that was a lot of fun.
And I've never experienced any of this.
Like I said,
you've never been to a gathering?
The 17th.
I've never even seen ICP.
He's never been to an ICP concert. He ain't a real juggalo, bro.
Okay, well,
now I'm starting to buy it.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome shirt you got on, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, Shaggy, that's an awesome shirt you got on, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was at the 17th. That was my first gathering too. I was nervous as hell too, man.
I was supposed to.
Well, I was in the parking lot for 3 days before they opened the gates, so I was only nervous for like the first day or so in the parking lot, But then like you said, everybody's just so welcoming, and it's just like home, man.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm told. So we were supposed to in April, Las Vegas. We had a VIP thing lined up. It was gonna be great. We were going, and coronavirus hit.
It wasn't April. It was May.
May.
It was supposed to
Your
be for my
birthday.
birthday.
Oh yeah, it was like damn near your birthday.
It was on my birthday, May 15th.
Damn.
So coronavirus didn't mess that up. So I didn't get to go. I'm sorry. I'm new gen, whatever. I like Twisted.
Because see, I got it hooked up, and I can't name out names. I have a buddy that is a dancer for ICP. He's one of the Boogeyman dancers. So I have it hooked up, and I get free tickets to go see ICP when he's close to me.
So we're going to go. I'm going to go.
So they go this year?
Yeah.
So they ain't going to have a gathering this year?
We're not having anything, I don't think.
Rob said Rob said all I need is so if they told us in June that we could gather, he said there'd be a gathering in August.
Yeah, I got that.
But I don't think there's going to be one now. I hope there is.
Yeah, I've not heard anything one way or another.
I don't see it happening because they were real quick to stop everything.
Yeah.
Right away in the beginning. So I think they'll be real tentative coming back. I would believe.
Yeah.
Well, I've when I was working on EchoSide and even Oracle, when it went into January, Rob was he worked on the game, but he had to start working on the gathering at the same time, and it was almost a full-time thing just for the gathering. So, if they're not starting to plan it now, if they turned it on in June, I don't know how they could conceivably put one together. But Psychopath has done more miraculous things, I suppose. So, I guess it's possible, but
he said it wouldn't be like these last few. He said it'd be a totally stripped down deal, but if it happens, he said he'll put something together for us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt that it's gonna. I think it would be a huge crowd if it was stripped down to nothing. everybody would still show up.
Oh God, yeah, I'd be there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what my wife said. I said, well, I want to go do this summer. She said, what if there's a gathering? She said, no, we're just gonna wait and see what happens there. All right.
See, now unfortunately, I don't see us making it to a gathering until our son is at least old enough to stay home alone.
Yeah.
Because I can't bring myself to get a babysitter to go.
Bring the baby there.
Yeah, I can't understand.
No,
I can't stand for that. After babysitter, it just kind of.
Yeah, you were Matrix.
Right.
Like, so we have to wait until he gets older and like he can old enough to go hang out with his friends or something. Then we're like, yeah, we're going. Like, he's old enough to take care of himself, then we can go.
And he was born in Detroit, so he's already prone to being a juggalo. I mean, like, it's in the bloodline right there.
Yeah, it sounds like he's pretty much cursed.
Yeah. Poor guy. No, you'd be amazed at the stuff he actually listens. There's so much contrast, again, of music in this house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can go from Coco Melon to, like, System of a Down in, like, a heartbeat and just be headbanging around 18 months old. Hey, so anyway, so when did you get into ICP, period, or when did you start hearing about them to start? Because you got a lot of knowledge of Dark Carnival and everything.
I mean,
before you actually
appreciated the ICP stuff, even back in the early '90s when they started coming out with, the characters, the designs of the characters. I thought was really interesting. About that same time,
you classify as old gen.
What's that?
So you're old school then, right? You're not new gen.
I would say I'm probably a little bit of both. Just because I followed the design, the storyline of ICP, I really didn't listen to much of the music until I was kind of paid to do so by Live Nation. They said, we want you to come in there. You've got this really sinister style to your stuff. Here's this band that is tearing it up at Hot Topics. They're probably one of our number one sellers, and we can afford to pay you to do their stuff. And so I started doing their stuff, but you guys, juggalos, are very similar to deadheads. If someone is making shit up or if they're not following the rules of this crew, the fans will know it. They know every fucking word of every song, and if you stray from that, they're going to tear your ass up. Not only did I start listening to the music, I started, I downloaded all the lyrics. I read this, all the words. And so when I started doing my iterations of the original 6 Juggalos, when there was only 6 at the time when I started, that, I stayed very true to not only the characters or the songs that I was drawing, but Shaggy's designs too. I didn't take a lot of liberties. Yeah, if there was a hint of it, I might expand on something on that. But for the most part, I stuck to what the Juggalos have been staring at for 20 years at that point, and not taking a lot of liberties other than just trying to make it look as realistic as possible and as sinister as possible.
Which one was your favorite to do?
What's that?
Which one of the original cards was your favorite to do?
Oh, the Ringmaster. He's always the first one that I do. I know that Carnival Carnage was the first chronologically, but I enjoy drawing the Ringmaster so much. I kind of do him first, and then he kind of sets the tone. If he, because he'll set the bar, and I got to get up to that every time because I enjoy drawing him so much. I'll draw him really well, and then I'll try to hold all the rest of them to that standard as I go.
All right.
You're frozen.
I'm sorry, I'm missing some of that. What was the question again, Living Dead Girl?
Take you the longest to do which one?
Wow, they're really in the Matrix.
Yeah, it's all technical. What did Shaggy? Did you hear what they said?
No, I didn't. Sound like they're in the Matrix talking in a can. I got a question for you. What was your what was the one commission that you were asked to do that you didn't do that you later wished you did do?
Huh, that's a hell of a question.
Right? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
The one commission that I turned down that I wish I would have done. You know, I can't think of one that, for one thing, I'm a greedy bastard and I rarely turn down a job if it's right. I don't think that I've really turned down one that I've looked back on years later and said, holy shit, this would have been legendary if I would have done it when I was supposed to. But yeah, I can't think of one.
Far out. Right on. Cool. That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. I was really expecting him to say, like a football team or something, man. But I really dig some. I made that one little graphic there with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Oh yeah,
and because I dig your sports shit, man. I fully dig that. I'm juggalo, but I dig that sports. And I don't even really like sports. I'm not even really a sports guy. You know what I mean? But I fucking dig the drawing, man.
Well, those caricatures back in the 80s when you guys were, still kids. In the early 90s is when I started working at Sam Sportswear. Of course, I was 22 in 1992. So I was just a kid too when I got there, and they had been doing sports caricatures for the Celtics and Magic and all those guys in the late 80s. And I was huge fans of those guys and huge fans of Jordan at the time. So, but they made a shit ton of money doing caricatures. So I wanted to they hired me up there and the staff of artists that they were boasting at the time was the fucking best in the country. I mean, they had this stacked art department. And so when they hired me to move from Arkansas up to New Hampshire, where Salem Sportswear was, I got to work alongside, some real legends in the sports industry when it comes to artwork. And they were doing caricatures, but they weren't doing it on the clock. Salem would pay them a salary to design, and then they would send them home and pay them $600-700 a head for every caricature. So when it was a team caricature, they would be, 13 heads on there, and they'd pay them like $500 a head. But still, for a 22-year-old, working 4 or 5 days from home and then getting a $6,000 check.
Hell yeah,
good. That went a long ways back in the early 90s. So I learned. Only the caricature artists got that shit though. So I'm like, I'm gonna fucking be a caricature artist because I want to tap into that.
Right.
So, hell yeah.
How? Okay, so yeah, you got 10 years on me. So 90s, you're doing this. Like, how has art changed, gone more digital and stuff? Like, has that changed anything with you or the way you've gone from where you were to where you are now? Or
yeah, but back in the 80s, in the late 80s, of course, I graduated high school in 88. So, and then when I got my first job at Champion, they wanted the airbrush look and stuff like that too, but there was no computers really that was doing it. You had to do it with a Pache and a Badger airbrush. And, so that's how I done it. But you would have to cut this shit called frisk, and then you'd cut a section, and you would peel it out, and you would airbrush, like you'd cut out like his arm, and then you would airbrush the muscles or shit like the flesh tone in there with this airbrush. And then you put another piece of frisk on, and you cut out the next section. And that's how you did it. And it was slow, and it was painful, and you'd work all fucking night, and then you could have at 3 a.m, your airbrush would splatter, and it'd spit the shit right on your illustration board, and you'd be like, you're fucked. And then, so it would be like daylight, and then you would finish the painting, and you'd have this shit streaming up your nose, like stains of paint that you've been breathing for 8 hours straight. And then you'd still have to clean your brushes up. So it would be like 7, 8 in the morning before you'd, call it a night. Damn. So when Photoshop came along and you just had to hit, Command Q, Command save, and then Command, quit and go to bed. I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that instead. So yeah, after 92, 93, Photoshop was the way to go. And Adobe Illustrator and all those programs really came into play. And so I just kind of dove into those, and it's done well for me. And still, luckily for me, Photoshop and Illustrator is still kind of the industry standards when it comes to, graphics. So,
right. I'm a master of my PixArt.
Pixar,
Hey, don't judge. It's what I use. It works. We get this punk rock mentality. We make do with what we got, and we make it work.
Well,
Fucking PixArt.
honestly, until 2 years ago, I don't think I ever paid for a single copy of Photoshop or Illustrator. I didn't pay for that shit. You'd always have a friend that's got a copy. They would give you the serial number. You type it in, and boom, you got it for free. So it worked out great. I didn't pay for shit. And then, 2 years ago, Adobe finally got wise and said, it's subscription only, baby. If you want to keep, you got to pay month to month to have this shit. And
Yeah.
so now, after doing it for 20 years now, I'm fucking paying.
Yeah. I'm in film school, and so I get full Creative Cloud as part of my school package. Well, as long as I'm in school, but I graduate in June, so all that shit's I'm gonna have to start paying for it.
Right. Brandon says,
Yeah, I just saw that.
what's a good but not expensive program to use? And I would suggest do Photoshop, because for one thing, if you're young or if you're a student and you're only getting one program, you can buy it for $10 a month. I mean, if you're only getting one program, you can buy it for 10, maybe $20 a month, and as a subscription. And then hell, you could easily make that back. But at least you're learning a program that you could go into the workforce and say, I know Photoshop. That's better than going and say, I know fucking Paint or some other third-party program that no one wants to use. So if you're going to spend money, spend it on something that's going to get you somewhere, possibly, get you a job so you can afford to pay that $20.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna put PixArt on my next resume.
You don't even need a resume. You just walk in there and say, when do I start?
What's up? Yeah, PixArt. Make it happen. Hey, let me
What are you talking about? Just telling your name is DJ Gonzo. Everybody knows you.
Right? Shit.
Not.
They'll be throwing free chicken. Hey, I am up, by the way. I am up against some heavy competition, but for a Replicon award this year.
Really?
For best podcast, yep.
Fuck yeah, man. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Got nominated. I know it was all my people that nominated myself. I'm like, hey, go nominate me. I'm like, I'm just happy to be here, but I'm in Messenger going, go vote for me. Oh, by the way, you can do this daily. Vote for me. Because I'm going up against like Shaggy and the Creep.
Great show, man.
I'm going up against Replicon Radio, which I'm already going to say, like, that don't seem fair.
Yeah, that's pretty stiff competition.
There's some really good ones in there, and I'm just like, dude, if I win this shit, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to act like an ass. We all like our Grammys and shit. All I'm
going to Disneyland.
Right?
By the way, I got nominated.
Huh?
In 2016, 2017, I think I got nominated for the first time from Fago Lovers when they were having their awards back in the day. Okay. And, I got my ass handed to me from, I think, the first year, 8 Legs, just dominated. And then the next year, Insane E, won. And then, the third year, what's that girl's name? She draws as like a hobby on the side. I can't remember her name. Used to be a dancer for Wolfpack. Shaggy, you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember her name.
Anyway, somebody comment and tell us what her name is. You guys know. You guys know who I'm talking about. Fuck. Anyway, she won over me. So I lost like 3 years in a row before I won one, and then they canceled it right after that. They canceled it.
8 Legs is up for it, and on this Replicon.
What's that?
Eight Legs is up for it in this Replicon Awards thing.
Yeah, I think I'm nominated too. It's somewhere down the list. Of course, with Tom Wood as your name, if they do it in alphabetical order, I'm so far down the list that I'm usually the very last one. So you'll have to scroll to see me. But I think I was nominated.
I do believe you are. I do believe I voted for you. It was hard.
I did.
You did. You did.
Yes,
I know you did.
I did.
It's real hard, dude. Even the music, because like I'm really cool with everybody. Like my job is like talking people to come in and hanging out with me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wouldn't even have told that who you voted for. I would have just said, yeah, there's a lot of competition.
You can go back and vote for different people. I don't give a fuck, shit. Whatever. This next year, I'm not gonna win either. Motherfuckers didn't vote for me either. I'm sure. Yeah, but I even got my boss at work voting. I don't care. I'm shameless. He said, "Yeah, hey, Disneyland earlier. We tell our 18-month-old that when we go to Walmart, it's Disneyland. We're gonna keep his expectations low. It's low budget, smart. No, he's gonna be mad though. Gotta explain to him why Mickey Mouse is like the mascot of Walmart and shit.
Hey, they got Mickey Mouse balloons at
They
Walmart.
They do. He punks me out of a balloon once a week though.
Really? Well, I mean, Disneyland's right in y'all's backyard. Well, not in your backyard. Where are you guys at?
No, I'm in Arizona. I'm from California, but I'm in Arizona.
Oh, okay. That's still not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far. But there may not be no Disneyland. I don't know. We don't know how everything's gonna go. I'm just like, you got Disneyland. We live in a small town. It's pretty much like the theme park, Walmart.
My little town has the smallest Walmart on the planet. So
That's it.
when you say small town, Mike, what's small?
2,700.
Really? You got 2,700 people in your town?
I come from 300,000 people, being like the sixth biggest city in California. So
That's
I mean,
a lot smaller than I expected. I think my town's like 830 people or some shit. But I mean, I didn't expect any town in there to be that small.
that is very small. But there's like no other real towns around us for like an hour. Laughlin, Vegas, Phoenix, 3 hours away, 5 hours away, some shit. Like it's small, so like everything's kind of together. Like we probably could be like 6 small 800 people towns. There's probably some out in the hills because I mean it's Route 66, reservations, and meth labs out there.
Tacoma's like 15 miles that way, and Seattle's like 27 miles that way. I'm like right between them, so I'm stuck right in about a couple million people.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Shaggy. I couldn't live with that many people around.
I can't stand them.
It used to not bother me because I was like 60 miles outside LA in the Inland Empire in San Bernardino, and like there's 300,000 people, some shit like that, and that just that town, but like it was town, LA.
Right.
And it was all way more than 800, all these little towns. So it was different. Like even when I went to Shelby in North Carolina, I think they had probably 32,000 people there. You know, it seemed like a small ass town to me. Like I kept seeing the same people all the time. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Well, last year I did this thing called Tom Wood's The Float. I don't know if you guys heard about it.
Yes, I seen that. I'm so pissed I couldn't come.
Yeah, I wish but that was the first chance. Was trying to get a lot of people that were stuck in the city over the summer with these lockdowns and everything else just to come out to the country and kind of get a little sampling of what life in Fulton County, Arkansas was like. And, float the river, camp, do the kind of stuff that I grew up doing around here. And everyone seemed to have a great time. In fact, they've been hammering me to do another one this year. But
yeah,
with the gathering kind of floating, whether we're going to have it or not, I don't know if I want to start, making plans until I hear one way or another if we're going to have it.
Right.
I don't think that. Honestly, but the way Shaggy talks, I don't think they're even if they said, I don't think Shaggy would be too hip on it because he really is just not playing with the way he talks on the podcast anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows, you know? I mean, that's you know, that's Shaggy, you know, that's not Joey. So who knows, you know?
One question I would like to ask them is, I want to know why Shaggy tried to drop kick Fred Durst and why he missed. That's like something I really want to ask him.
Watch
if you watch that video, he's gonna send that sucker flying out into the audience. But it looked like then security just they grabbed him and pulled him back.
Yeah.
And even when he kicked, he just missed by like
just that much. He was just short.
Yeah.
He watch his podcast because he addresses that in one of the first ones. Yeah, and he's all, man, I was just playing, man. I was just playing. Because if I wanted to drop kick him, he goes, man, I'm a fucking wrestler. I would have drop kicked him. He goes, I would have sent him to the fifth row, man.
Yeah.
He goes, I was just playing, man. He goes, and everybody freaked out.
Right.
He was playing. It looked like because they pulled him back, and when he shot those legs out straight, it didn't look like he was playing. It looked like he meant to make contact there. I think he meant to
right. But playing though. In a playing way.
Playing
you know, like I like you and I haven't been able to express that. So I want to run over and drop kick you. And last second I thought, well, maybe you shouldn't do this. So you ended up this short.
Mm-hmm. I think we figured it out, fellas.
Yeah, it sounds legit. We're buying it. Put it on Facebook and it'll be true.
That's right.
What's your favorite social media right now? Facebook, Instagram? And I have a guess it's going to be a certain one.
Really? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's Instagram just because it's supposed to be photography, art, stuff like that. It would catch your attention more than Facebook would. And you don't seem to be the one that gets trapped into all the bullshit that Facebook seems to run with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Instagram's kind of been my focus for the past, I'd say, 2 or 3 years because I had a pretty good following in Facebook before, and then Tom Wood, and then Tom Wood Fantasy Art was doing pretty good. But Instagram, I had no following, so I just kind of focused on that. And but you're right; it's very conducive to pictures and videos and stuff like that, which is definitely my medium is graphics. So it just sort of lends itself to that a little bit more.
Shaggy's on Grindr.
No shit.
No.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
You know what it is. Stop lying, Shaggy.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Nah, she won't worry about it. Just anytime a dude pops by that's ready to go, you get a little blue light or something. It goes bing.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about here, man.
How the fuck do you know about this? What the fuck do I need to know?
Because no. Okay, backstory.
No, what's really fucking
That's
up?
a backstory. Backstory is I looked up funny news for that news show we're doing, right? And it went to like a legit newspaper, Nigeria, and it was telling about this dude that was on Grindr that went to meet some other dude, but that dude like chopped dude's hands off, tortured him, and all sorts of stuff. And dude lived to tell about it. And like, but they were donating a bunch of money to dude. So I was like, this ain't funny news. So that's how I know about Grindr.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't even know what that is. I have a grinder.
Right, I got a grinder too.
Is there any more works for the game coming up or anything?
Oh, for Echo Side?
Yeah.
We've discussed, a few additions. Nothing no major addition like Oracle or anything like that. But
okay.
Just promotional packs or whatever for like a gathering and stuff like that. But I know they've been pounded by requests for certain characters that's come to life since Echo Side launched. Like Fred Fury and Flip the Rat, and, characters like that people would like to see some kind of promotional package of 4 or 5 cards, be released or put into the deck. So we might see something like that. As far as a major expansion, I've not heard anything about it.
Oh, okay. Do they commission you for it, or do you draw the shit and they see it and be like, yo, dude, that's sick. I want to put that on my merch, man.
No, they commissioned me for it.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, because these paintings. I mean, I wish I could just do them for free, just for the love of doing them. But
Well, yeah,
they take weeks sometimes. Like that Rotten Treats took probably 10 straight days to paint.
Oh, damn.
So it's not something that you can just do one evening while you're fucking around and have it look that way the next day. You gotta really invest some time into it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Mr. Rotten Treats is fucking sick.
Yeah, it came out good. I was probably one of my prouder pieces is that thing. But I spent a lot more time. Like when I was doing the original Jokers, that's T-shirt artwork, so I didn't spend a ton of time. I spent, they were only paying me so much, and I had to get it done within that certain amount of time, or I start losing money. So, I was trying to keep it at like 3 or 4 days. But with, now that I've got the Tomwood Fantasy Art website and a decent following of juggalos that buy and collect the artwork, and I want to put out T-shirt artwork, as much. I want to put out something that I'm not going to go back 5 years later and say, fuck, I wish I would have done this a little different. I wish I would have spent some more time on this part or this part. Not that I would change it now, but I wish I would have spent a little more time on it when I was actually doing it.
Right on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog out.
Fuck that dog.
I was gonna say Shaggy's incontinent. Yeah. So you having fun, bud?
No, I'm having a good time.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
good.
very similar. This is very much like a couch in the garage scenario.
Right, and that's what we try and have. And like, I don't pre-prepare for a lot of stuff. I find interesting people. I check out their stuff, and I'm like, I want to have a conversation with them. I think other people would like to have a conversation with them, And then I fully get into them all later. I've done that with a lot of artists. They're like, tell me, some of the songs. I'm like, I've read you a couple times. I just follow your social media and everything else. Like, you're fucking cool. I just want to get you on and see who you are before I invest in my time and into your music and everything else.
Yep. No, I get that. And it's interesting because I think the juggalos are interesting. In fact, I've got a pretty busy career, but I always make time to go to the gathering or an event that I can go to, because really it's just the people are kind of fascinating, because they pretty much accept you without question. And the fact that the more that you're yourself, the more accepting they are of you, because, I've heard that question that you hit me with before is, you don't look like a juggalo. And no, I'm never going to probably look like a juggalo. I'm a fucking cowboy. I've got I live on a cattle ranch. If I put on Timberlands and, whatever chains and tried to talk urban, I'm just going to look like a jackass. They have no respect for you if you just act like yourself. Be yourself. Be proud of who you are, and they're much more accepting of that.
Hey, yeah. Did you whoop whoop, and did you appreciate your first whoop whoop experience?
I did whoop whoop. I mean, of course, you get whoop whooped at as soon as you show up at the gathering. You hear it a million times.
Whoop.
Like, you got to say it back, or they get pissed. And so I was informed you got to say it back, and then after that, I was good to go.
Right. I love it. Like, I got into it just because it was for the outcasts and stuff.
I hate when people say two whoops.
Yeah, don't say two whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't be
you whoop
lazy.
whoop
Say
it.
whoop
Yeah, don't be lazy. I think that's a rule somewhere in there. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's an unwritten rule.
Unwritten rule.
If you say
Don't be lazy.
two whoops, then you should just be slapped and you should be kicked out of the juggalo world.
It is a
card bull.
See, we talked about him earlier, Damon Quinn. I'm very much into the Colt crew because, like, for me, it's an extension of the Juggalos, and it's just so much more mellow or less bullshit. I just can't keep up with all the stuff, so I'm just like, I love you guys. I'm a Juggalo, but fuck you guys at the same time. And it seems like I always get more and more on my thing, so I feel like I'm at a certain level with them. I have several that just message me. I know we're whoop whoop. And I'm like, whoop whoop. Okay, I gotta get back to change his baby's diaper. You know, like I gotta go to work. Whoop whoop. What are you doing today? I'm working. Same as I was doing yesterday, bro. You know, like it's so interesting though. Like, and I'm talking about like I ain't one. I am one. Like I do dumb shit. Like I tell her, like you didn't know you're fucking with the juggalo. Like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm getting manic. I do have another question.
Okay.
What is a juggalo?
I would say a juggalo is. I mean, they're kind of a hippie. They're kind of a, I'd say, loner hippie. And like I said, they very much remind me of the Deadheads. Just they're a little more urban, but they don't seem to. And they all seem to go their own way. A lot of individual styles there. Nobody seems to sort of set a trend. You can do whatever the fuck you want, and that's one of the reasons I really, was drawn toward this crew of people. Is they give no fuck. I think Juggalo actually came up with that.
They all seem to be doing the same thing.
She said they all could be doing something different, but they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. You really can do whatever the fuck you want, but you all seem to be doing the same thing for the most part.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones I've met probably thousands of juggalos over the past 4 years, and they all sound different. They all come, even though they usually look a little similar when it comes to face paint and they're out in the crowd at main stage. They all look similar, but when you talk to them, they sound, you guys sound very different than the juggalos that I've met from Florida or the juggalos that are in Michigan in some cases. So, but you all have the same kind of like-mindedness of I want to do what I want. I don't like being told what to do. And the more you tell me what to do, the more likely I am to say, fuck off. I appreciate that. And I think there's I got a lot of respect for people that, want to go their own road and not conform to some idea of what they're supposed to act like. So, but, when I say what they're supposed to act like, it doesn't mean misbehaving. It means they just do what they want to do, whatever they think is going to make them happy without worrying about what mom and dad thinks or whoever, or their boss thinks, fuck your job. I'm going to do, this is important to me. I'm going to go do it. Money doesn't mean as much to me as this group of people that I see a few times a year. Call family.
Yeah.
They've got their priorities.
I've left a job for to go to the gathering. Hey, I need to get to the gathering. Fuck, I'm going. Fuck, I don't need this job no more. I'll get right when I get back.
I might die there, so who cares about this job? Hey, Shaggy actually looks out for people when he goes to gathering, though.
Yeah, in Oklahoma, I did Juggalos Feeding Juggalos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I fed like 250 people or something like that over the 4 days.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had a great time.
Since parts of the gathering and stuff I want to see and experience, I just don't want to walk across a sex bridge or nothing.
Oh, no, the drug bridge. That was up at Hog Rock, I think it was, or.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
Where that was, man. That was before my time. But there's nothing like that now, man. Mm-hmm. Although my first year walking along, man, it was everywhere you looked, man. Everybody's just standing there holding signs. Acid, $5. Grams, $5. It's like, fuck.
Shaggy, what was your first gathering?
The 17th.
Really?
Yeah.
That was mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen some shit that I've never seen before at the gathering, without a doubt. But
I bet
nothing that was that bad. And the fact that I never, I've seen some crazy shit, but I never seen anybody fighting. I didn't see anybody getting raped. It was very fun. It was everybody was kind of chaotic, running everywhere until 5 o'clock in the morning until they finally crashed. But there wasn't anything that was just. And I don't know, unsavory about the whole thing as far as violence or crime or anything like that. It was all just fun. So
no, I heard of one person getting something stolen, and that was not last year, the year before. When we were back at Legend Valley, I heard somebody got something stole, and then the whole truth came out, and dude jacked somebody for like $300, and so they went and took his whole fucking tent.
Oh, I heard about that. They ran his ass out of there. Yeah.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I heard about that.
No, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got a would you rather for you.
Okay, hit me.
All right. Would you rather win $10,000 or let your friend win $100,000?
Do they know that I made this decision to let them get the $100,000?
Yeah, I want to know that.
Yeah.
Because I could probably make that up in a loan, or something. You can only borrow at $10,000. I kind of
get $10,000, or you can let your friend get $100,000.
Yeah.
I would tell my friend and be like, "Look, bro, we're making this decision. Give me 40, you get 60, and I won't take this 10. Show me you're a friend of mine because I'm like looking out for you."
That's right. I think $60,000 for just, cutting me in on a little thing. Who wouldn't make that deal? Nobody would make that deal.
But they didn't, and I'm taking the 10,000 because that's a whole lot of handies to make $10,000.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, $5 is $5. I have this whole thing. Well, this is going to go downhill from here.
I don't know. Hold on. I'm still contemplating that question. I don't think I like anybody well enough to give them $10,000 or $100,000 or whatever.
Exactly. You're going to make a deal with them that they get 60, you get 40, or screw them, you're taking the 10.
I think I'm going to say screw them and I'm taking the 10 because I don't really think there's anybody that I like well enough to give them even $60,000.
Well, what if you went to your friend and said, I'm going to give you $100,000, but you're going to give me 95 of it. You think
anyone
would turn down a free $5,000?
$100,000? No, I don't.
I don't think I would trust anybody enough.
Yeah, me either. I don't think I would either. There is not anybody that I would be willing to say that I trust you exactly, that I trust you enough to hand me over this X amount of money for you to get this back. No, I would take the money. No, I have a family. I have a son. I have kids.
There'd be too many stipulations. There'd be too many ways of people going, well, you didn't say that. You didn't say when I had to give it to you.
Yeah, no, I would be that selfish bitch.
You're saying there's nobody you trust that much?
No.
Nobody on the planet. To make
Michael,
my kids.
right here, I would do it with him.
There you
but
go.
Outside of him, no.
I'd do it with Shaggy. I just need your address and stuff first. Hey, in Arizona, it's legal to have guns.
I mean, if I don't know, I thought about this when I wrote it down. I thought about it, and I decided what I came up with was I would let them have the $100,000 because money don't really mean really too much to me. I mean, fuck yeah, I want money. Who don't want the money? But money doesn't fucking fuel me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got what I need, and I may not have everything I want, but I got everything I need. So I don't really give a fucking. You never know, man. Maybe that $100,000 might be the thing that changes somebody's fucking life and if it changes somebody's life that much, you got to get along with them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, she's right. All of a sudden, you have a lot of friends
for it.
All of a sudden, you have a lot of friends as soon as people find out you got $100,000 to give a friend. No, oh no.
Dude, when I got hit by a pickup truck, man. I got a settlement. I've never even heard of family I'd never even heard of hit me up going, "Hey, my mortgage is behind. Can you help?" Well, fuck
Dude,
you.
I remember this shit.
For you.
I remember.
Hey, people that win the lottery, bad stuff happens to them all the time. Like family members, friends, everyone kills them. They do too much drugs. They have too much fun. They get suicidal. Like every time anybody wins, I'm like, dude, I hope it's like 50 people won. Like someone almost won $1 billion in Michigan.
Damn. Yeah, if I won the lottery, I would hope no one would. I would take less money for them not to announce my name. You know,
Right.
I'd rather not
Yeah, absolutely.
anybody know that I won anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am going to take all my money up front, or I'm going to JJ Wentworth, and then I'm getting my money. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to put it off in stocks, some Bitcoin, some stuff, and then I'm going to go build my own private army.
Army to do what?
Just
What
to
do you
be
need
there.
an army for? Just to sort of
Just to be there.
just to be there.
Yeah, just to be there. I want a little army. Just a little army.
Of like 100 guys, or like a couple thousand guys, or
No, like I want a community. Okay, now it sounds like I'm building a commune. But,
I don't know.
cult of your own there, Mike.
right, okay, so I wanted this underground base, and we're gonna have an accident where the mine collapses and stuff.
Mhm.
And then go from there. I think, yeah.
I like it.
Right. See, it's reasonable. It's reasonable.
It sounds like money well spent to me.
And I just live off of my, my other half. It'd be good. No, I don't know, because I just wouldn't trust people if I had all that money. Like, I don't know. Just things are different, but I want to do things and don't want to do good things. That's for sure.
Right.
Like, I want to improve other people's lives too, people that are with me and stuff, and do more of this, but like professionally. It might be interesting, I'm definitely not there. I'm going to Vegas and dying that night. I'm not. Yeah. No fun. I live by Vegas. Everyone's like, "Oh, Vegas." I'm like, yeah. I'm old.
Right.
It has no interest. Like Vegas is like the worst girlfriend ever, or ex-girlfriend ever, dude, because it just beats you up and takes your money all the time.
That's pretty accurate description.
And you could get herpes and stuff too down there, so like that comes back with you. It comes back with you.
Not everything stays in Vegas.
That shit don't.
Hey, you looked up what Grinder is? Fuck you.
Hey, no, there's no hard feelings or nothing. Like, dude, like,
that's funny.
they should have that for straight people too. Like, I mean, it just seems to work out for everybody, except for that one kid in Nigeria. Did not work out for him. It did not work out for him at all.
If you could work with anybody, past or present, collaborate with anybody, past or present, who would it be and why?
Of
Ever.
anybody. I would assume it would probably be an artist that I have a lot of respect for, which there's only one name that comes to mind when I think of the artist that I kind of idolized growing up, and that was Frank Frazetta. Now, if you grew up reading the fantasy novels that I did, like Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja and several other characters that Robert E. Howard wrote back in the 30s, they were all illustrated in the 60s and early 70s by Frank Frazetta. And the cool thing about Frank was, he didn't use reference. I mean, it was all out of his fucking head, which was amazing. The stuff that he came up with and the style that he did. If you look at Death Dealer, which was on the album cover of Molly Hatchet in 1978, the album Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
That piece, when I seen that, of course I was 8 years old when I seen it, and I was just like, holy shit. I was thinking this store that doesn't even exist anymore called Magic Mart. And that's before Walmart ran them out of business. But they had the full album covers. And so I could, as a kid, I just grabbed that and just stared at it forever, and just was amazed at the detail that was in. Like if you looked at I don't know if you guys are even familiar with that piece, but if you're not, you should take a look at it.
Okay.
I am, yeah. I know.
Yeah. Just Google Frank Frazetta and Death Dealer, and then look at that shield and look at that glint of light on there, and then as you're he focuses in where he wants you to focus at.
Yeah.
And as it fades away, it's very similar to a peripheral vision. I mean, it's genius, really. And he did a lot of his pieces that way. As he faded out from his focal point, he would start getting looser and looser. And that's something that I wish I could do. But, when I start drawing something, this fucking bird way up here in the sky is just as detailed as, the center of, Mr. Rotten Treat's face. I just can't loosen up when it comes to some of that detail. I just have to be consistent. But Frazetta is and always will be like my idol as far as fantasy artwork and illustration style.
Right on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. How tight it is in the center and how it loosens up. It's almost not. To use my Pixar terminology, it blurs out.
Yeah, like your peripheral vision. Just like when you're staring at somebody's face, that ear's kind of out of focus, and the more you go to the side, the more fucking blurry it gets.
The depth of field changes. Yeah.
Not to mention, the haze in the air. You can see the like vultures in the air in the background. You can see they're hanging out a little bit more, and it just it definitely creates a depth. And the atmosphere, the clouds that he used and the haze that he has and the stuff, you'll see in a lot of my works, my full paintings, that you'll see a lot of that atmospheric, shading and lighting with fog and smoke and shit like that.
What's your favorite medium to work with? I know you talked about Photoshop, but
well, I'd say oil paints and acrylic paints. Now, airbrushing was just a form of acrylic painting. You just watered down your paints more until where they could flow through an air gun. But
right.
Acrylics was good, but the colors on oil painting is unbelievable. I mean, it's not even really a comparison. A lot of people like to paint in acrylics because it dries in a few minutes, where oils could take up to a year to dry completely. So it stays wet, and you can go back and when you paint something, you might have to wait a day so it sort of gels at the top, so it doesn't mix. But if you want it to mix, like in your skies or in your blends, while it's wet, you've got all the time in the world to work in all this crazy ass detail before it dries. So oil, and the colors are crazy vibrant, unlike acrylics. Acrylics, when it dries, it's dull as fuck all the time from then on. But those oils, they stay shiny and vibrant forever. So oils are awesome. So the only way that you can get that kind of vibrancy is digitally these days, unless you want to oil paint.
Oh, wow. Right on.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of stuff I've done too is I do a lot of graffiti artwork underneath the rims of hats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always with acrylic, and like I even fast brush it. I ain't gonna lie, I've done like straps of backpacks and stuff, and I've torched it after I've painted it to get it to dry and give it like this kind of glazed look.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've liked it, but now you got me interested in oils. I don't know if you can do that on stuff like that, but
no, what you want to do though, Mike, on that is you can buy plastisol inks. It's the same shit that you use on t-shirts. It's printed through a screen onto your shirts, which makes up the shirts that we all wear. But I'm wearing Shaggy right now. That's plastisol inks, and it has the same vibrancy as oil paints, but it's called inks.
Okay.
Paints. Now paint with that shit because it's made to go through a dryer at 320 degrees and dry.
Right.
But until that shirt or hat goes through a dryer, it's going to stay wet forever. It's going to stay, it's never going to dry on its own. It's got to go through a dryer and a certain temperature to, for it to cook on there.
okay.
So yeah, plastisol inks. I would say, look into Wilflex and order yourself some paint that, like a little quart of red or whatever you like to paint with, and paint with that shit. And
Okay.
get like a heat gun, like a paint stripper gun, and do that at a distance for a while, and it will cure. It's what it's drying in ink terms is called curing.
Okay,
So
carrying.
cure to your hat, it'll be very vibrant. And it'll have that glazed look to it, unlike acrylic paints. So yeah.
Okay.
Check into Wilflex, Rutland. All these are ink makers for the apparel industry that can get you hooked up.
Okay. I've been writing some of this down here. That's good knowledge, bro. I appreciate that. Oh. So what else you got there, Shaggy? Before I have my friend make an ass out of himself.
Well, I don't think I got would you rather have hands that never stop growing or feet that never stop growing?
Well, I tell you what, I like to never stop growing.
Right, isn't it?
I say I would rather have feet that never stop growing because, essentially I could cut them off if I had to, if they became too cumbersome, and I could still make a living with my hands.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to paint with your feet?
What kind of question is that? I don't think I have.
That's why he left.
I think he's changing another diaper. If I was a betting man, I'd say he's on diaper duty while he's doing this podcast, and that's where he's at right now.
Probably.
My baby's sleeping.
No, you see what's up, Mr. Tom Wood stuff, I'm a big fan. I introduced myself. I'm Mr. Kitty Lovins. I'm the greatest juggalo mumble rapper ever. You know what I'm saying? The best ever. I'm also the juggalo Jesus. I'm on the clans, the juggalos. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Let's hear a few verses. I mean, from the greatest rapper in juggalo history. Let's just hear a few, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, I got you. While I was out in the woods, she started dropping, you know what I'm saying? Tom Wood, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
That's
You're fucking
mad skills, man.
And you find my music on Wish.com. Wish.com, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. And the hand gestures, that hit home with that. I think you nailed it.
Thank you. I had to invest into a chemical company. They make methamphetamines, you know what I'm saying? And well established down, the trailer parks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How about $5, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mr. Kitty Lovins.
Yeah, what's up there, Mr. Buddy? Where's my girlfriend, Richardinia?
Rich is at home with Wilma.
Man.
I was gonna ask you something there, Mr. K. I forgot.
It's okay, I forget stuff all the time, like terminologies and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Psychologists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I have to say I'm impressed with your linguistic skills. I mean, in rapping, it's impressive.
Especially because my mouth's paraplegic.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I was told and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you can't never believe, Crazy Steve and stuff, because he on that battery acid and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, what understands me and stuff. Hey, Tom, I need you to talk to Bruce, though. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to Bruce?
Yeah, you need to talk to that guy and stuff because, look way back, bro. Listen, I was the original dude on that song where he was in trouble. His mom made him go home and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I never got paid for that. I hit up Mr. Bruce one time, we was at the bathroom at the right now, you know what I'm saying? He's all hugging, like no intimidation and stuff, and I'm 4 feet in, 4 feet back, you know what I'm saying? And he reached over, and I was like, dude, you never paid me or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to pet Mr. Kitty Lovins kittens.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I know. That's crazy.
one more thing. I'm just trying to say, what's up? You know, I need my kitty pit. You know what I'm saying?
I'll have to talk to him about that.
I appreciate you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? After him, before my parole officer, you know, living that girl, you know, abuses me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Technically, I'm not allowed to be here. You know what I mean?
Parole officer? What did you get yourself into?
I was petting the kitten the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
They just did not understand, you know what I'm saying, why I was sitting in that sink, that Jack in the Box and stuff. They just didn't understand this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to watch my kitten, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happens. You know, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it's just life and stuff, you know what I mean? So I
just roll with the punches.
I got a fun fact for you guys.
Holy shit! Don't let her hit me and stuff, please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I'm about 2,000 miles away. I can't help you, but you know, you can always get up and run. You can like flee from the situation if you needed to.
No, he can't.
She got me on a leash.
Do you know why fake eyelashes were invented?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
What's going on here?
Holy Richard, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I heard Mr. K on there. I figured I'd come to come say hi.
Is that
the guy that lives in the woods? Yeah? Is that that guy?
Tom in the woods.
I live in the woods. I mean, it's fucking all woods here.
Fuck right on. Yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to go in the fucking woods. I tell you what. Hey, by the way, I'm Richard India, and I just thought something. I heard Mr. K love it, and I thought I'd stop by and say hi. How you doing?
Oh, hi. It's so nice of you to join us.
Yeah.
We're running for president, you know what I'm saying? 2024, it's the Dick in ya. Kitty love him ticket, you know what I'm saying? But right now, she's going to beat me or something, but she got something to say about eyelashes, you know what I'm saying?
Do you guys know why fake eyelashes were invented?
Fake eyelashes. Well, I would assume maybe as women get older, their eyelashes start to thin naturally. So
No.
they these to, you know, give them a more youthful appearance.
No, you would think that would be the reason why. But actually, in 1882, London prostitute Gerda, I can't pronounce the last name, invented the eyelashes to block semen from getting into working girls' eyes that are now worn as common fashion today.
So pretty much you was a hoe.
Blockers.
They were cum blockers. So you end up with some semen and stuff in your eyeballs, and you know what I'm saying?
Wow. No, that is shocking.
You didn't know that. I would thought somebody with a name Wood working in the porn industry would have known that.
Yeah, you ain't seen his movies. That's why he thought he was on
the porn industry.
He thought he was on a casting couch.
With the name Wood, I just assumed.
It would lend itself, wouldn't it? But
They were invented by a prostitute named Gertrude.
Hey, prostitutes are some of the smartest people I know, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I agree with that assessment that you just said.
No, I agree. They probably are the smartest people he knows.
Yeah, the smartest people I know, you know what I'm saying? I hang out at the Plasma Center, you know what I mean?
You hang out at the Plasma Center. Yeah, that's the bar pretty low there.
That's when you find the breezies and they're a little dizzy, you know what I'm saying? You feel like they feel like, damn, homie, you're a Romeo and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm your little Juliet. Let's go get something, you know, fixed and stuff.
God damn.
I'm just trying to be real and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I was a prostitute once.
Did you have fake eyelashes?
Really?
No, but that's how I got this gorgeous beard and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That didn't keep the cum off your face.
No, I told my
You grew a beard to catch the semen? You grew the beard to catch the semen or to block the semen?
No, I needed the semen to have them nice soft, so people pet my kidneys and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that is revolting.
It was his favorite saver.
It is. It is.
It's your flavor saver, so you got lots of semen on your face. So now you got flavor savers and semen all over your face, Mr. Kitty.
Yeah, I was in the Navy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The 3rd Brigade of homeless peoples with a little boat underneath the dock and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We used to patrol and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, miss. You need to put your tops and stuff back on. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you guys know of the regular fans that might have tuned in for this, of my fantasy art fans, they are fucking their minds just blew. Chances are I've probably lost about 100 to 200 followers after this conversation.
Yo, legitimately, then I'm a success. That would make me feel really sad and stuff. You get their addresses and stuff. I'll clean their house. I'll give them back for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's a fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
But you just gained 10 more juggalos, and that's worth its many fantasy.
It's fucking hot in here.
That's what I do it to you, Shaggy.
Oh, fuck.
So, anyways,
I got big box lights.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, they are hot, man. With that wig on, whew.
Yeah, you guys do it.
20 degrees, man.
I'll be right back and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Fuck out of here.
Oh, I don't know.
Bring Mike back.
Fuck, that's yeah. I do a morning show. I tell little like fluff news pieces, about all the good shit people do in the world, and just do random stupid weather here and there. And I put the wig on. I'm Richard Inya, the Richard Inya Show. When I first started the show, it was just I recorded it, and it was just an editing tool, just something so I could learn how to work this editing software and shit.
Oh my fucking God. What the fuck is going on now?
He's too embarrassed to show his real face because he just put on a video face.
Is he
I'm
talking?
just explaining myself.
He can't even talk through that fucking mask.
No, you can't, dude. I don't know how Damien raps through the goddamn things.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he's got to record that shit first, and then when he does the video or he goes on stage, it's got to be playing in the background because I don't know how you talk through masks like that. That's
just like you're having duct tape over your mouth. That's just you cannot talk or breathe out of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I really hope Mr. Kitty Lovins didn't run off of hundreds of followers.
Oh God, that was funny.
Yeah, sometimes I never know if it's going to go well or not, and it kind of happens.
No, I mean I think it's hilarious, and I think the Juggalos, any Juggalo fans that were watching would eat that shit up. But as far as mainstream fantasy art fans that are watching, they probably be thinking, Tom Wood is a fucking nut if he hangs out with these guys.
Hey, so we did this roast of this comedian Brett As Is from Texas. And it was supposed to be like the original roast, but nobody showed up to be the roasters, had things going on and stuff. So we had like a couple people and some video we pre-did and stuff. It was going kind of off. Mr. Keelums, I had to host it the whole time. One of his comedian friends popped on and goes, Brett, sometimes you just have to say no, dude. So I can see fantasy people going like, dude, like, Tom, no. They were nominated for awards. So.
That's true.
Right.
I'll use that as my defense. They did have some credentials that look pretty good. So.
They look pretty good. Well, full disclosure, we did say there'd be characters.
Yeah, that's true. You did. You didn't give me a heads up who was going to be appearing, but you said there would be.
There's no way to explain this, dude. Mr. Kitty Loves. Like, okay, she was gone for 6 months. I was by myself. Oh no, it was 3 months. I was by myself. When she came back, I had an alter ego. She was like, "Need help?" Because like I'm giving this guy a life story and everything, going through it. Like I've used him to beef with people. I've beefed with one of Bone Thugs and Harmony's relatives, nephew, Cleve the Harmony God.
Mm-hmm.
Beefed with him, me and a head of lettuce versus him. Like it's just been crazy. Like I get him out there left and right. I've never gotten ICP. I never got ICP to bite on it though. Like I've just like thrown things out there, but there's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Stupid. Stupid. You're a clown.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to be like the most. Oh, dude. So I can't do it on here. I'll send it to you later. We got the best intro for that show to polka music, like circus polka music. Shaggy helped produce it. Oh, it is great. Or just look at that video at the beginning. All you have to do is 2 minutes, and you're just like, oh no, let's not. Or do. It's really funny.
I'll have to check that out.
Hey,
Yeah,
you killed me though.
Pretty funny.
You killed me though when you said he was in porn. Oh man. Like how do I do that? Tom Wood. Yeah, Tom Wood's in porn. Well, he is a fantasy artist.
That's
That's a good point.
Richard doesn't get anything right. Like when I interviewed the Unforgiven, I was like, yeah, we got some boat captains coming in, fucking, and it was all cool, and I could fuck shit up. But lately, I'm getting all these people in, and I already know who they are, because I've talked about them on the show. And so I can't fuck up names and shit. So that was fun that I got to do that.
Like when we were together, he's like, okay, here's my set questions and stuff like that. I'm like, you write questions? Wait a second. That's why I bring a co-host that can let me just do my dumb shit. And they're just like, I'm not really with this guy. We'll link up later. I want to just pop off of here and just leave them on there. Pop on. You were talking about me. Yeah, it sounds good. All right. What did we not cover for you, Tom? I think we've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot tonight. But
holy shit, we went an hour.
Hit me up.
If there is another Tom Wood float, when might that be? When would you start to put that together?
I'd say pretty soon. If I could get some kind of idea of whether the gathering was going to be done or not, I would like to have it in August again, because my family owns a campground in Fulton County, and it's traveled to by people from Tennessee and Oklahoma and Missouri. They all come down to float this river at this camp. So they have it's a beautiful, beautiful campground, and it's huge. But when I had it last year, we had it in August after 4th of July weekend and after most people taking their vacation. So it was not as packed. So the Juggalos could pretty much do what they do without a lot of interactions with normal people.
Right.
And stuff like that, they could just let it hang out, which was cool.
Yeah.
So, if the gathering wasn't going to happen, I'd love to have it in first or second week of August. But that's usually when the gathering's going on.
Right.
If the gathering does go on, then maybe we can move it up to maybe June sometime, second week of June possibly, and see what happens. But there's going to be that's right in the thick of tourist season for this place, so it would be first come first serve. Yeah. Last year when we had the float, all the Juggalos just took over the entire lower end of camp. I mean, we had 100 cars that were all piled down there, and it was just us, and we could do whatever the hell we want. We didn't, there wasn't any families that was close to us, so we could, kind of let it hang out a little bit more and do whatever we wanted to do. But doing it in the middle of June is going to be a little more problematic.
Yeah, gotcha. Right on. And where's that at? Arkansas?
Yeah, Arkansas.
All right.
Yes, Mammoth Spring, which is where I'm at now.
Well,
Cool.
in July, we'll be getting married July 4th. So there's no gathering, no float. You can come party over here. We got a bunch of people. Damon might be coming. So
Congratulations. That's awesome.
yeah, Shaggy's coming. But you're more than welcome to come to this wedding.
No, thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Keep that in mind. Now, Arizona,
bro.
you've ever been
I
there?
know it's a big city. It's called Kingman. Hey, but the cool thing is we're an hour and 20 minutes away from Vegas. We're 40 minutes from Laughlin. Like, we can get to places, but it's a little desert town. It's kind of cool. It's all right.
I am 3 hours from anywhere here. So, I mean, it's 3 hours to Memphis. It's 3 hours to Little Rock. It's 4 hours to St. Louis. And I think Springfield's about 3 hours too. Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
So it's a long ways just to the nearest town you've never heard of. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of the way I like it.
You're invited too, Brandon. You can come too, Brandon Tarvin.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. I want a little chunk of land out away from everything, and just become fully self-sufficient, so I don't have to fucking deal with nobody, man. I can just do my show in my room, and there we go. Cool.
That's what I was talking about, but with an army.
Every once in a while, bust out, go shoot a movie or something, and then go back home. I'm cool.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Well, man, I'm glad you put up with this long.
Hell yeah.
We've been about an hour. We've hit an hour and 20. I'm super happy. A bunch of people turned in. Thanks, Brandon Tarvin, for tuning in the whole damn time.
Wow.
And whoever checked it out, don't judge us. That would not be very juggalo like.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I've enjoyed it, visiting with you guys. And, you're right. It's late. I would definitely recommend, coming on to anyone who comes on, because you guys make it real easy just to kick back and visit without any kind of high pressure questioning or bullshit or drama. It's just, fun.
Right on.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you coming back on. If you ever come back on again, it'll be even more fun. It just works out that way. It just depends on like the relationship and stuff, like how much you know about people and how nervous I am. You said no pressure. Shit, there's a ton of pressure. I told him beforehand, and he's like, I don't know, he just laughs at me. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm actually nervous. Like, holy shit. Like, 'cause I don't get nervous as much now, but now I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I read this. I respect this dude in his art. I really want him going, like, what the fuck? I'm like, but he loves juggalos.
I wasn't nervous at all because fucking you've been to the gathering, man. So I knew you knew there could be fucking all kinds of shenanigans with a couple juggalos.
Oh, yeah. Fully prepared.
And he's like, it ain't my show, it's fucking Gonzo's show, so fuck it. All right. Shit, what do we have next week? I don't even know who we have next week. I think Derek Two Wheel. He's coming on next week. It'll be his second time on. He, I believe, is going to be on the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
Wow, right on.
I believe so. That guy I had a beef with, Cleve, the Harmony God. He's actually, I think, put the money in and got it worked out where he's developed a brand new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the multiverse and stuff. I've been sharing it on my personal page a bit too. Like, you put it all together. It looks like it'd be pretty cool. I can't wait to see because like it's made from scratch, like independent, So I think it's gonna be real cool. Obviously, they got some permissions. I mean,
right? No, that's awesome.
Otherwise,
yeah, that's
right. Otherwise, it'd be sunk already. All right, guys. Till next time, we're gonna end the broadcast. See you, folks.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Most definitely buy the ticket, take the ride. We'll see